Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMOM, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMOM podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMOM Secrets podcast. Hello. Welcome to the KetoMOM page. My name is Stephanie, and I have a secret for you, a secret that you might not like. No, I'm just kidding. Probably just a reminder. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and I would love to know. Let's see, it is, well, if you're tuning in live, it's almost the middle of the week already because we had a holiday. Today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. This week is flying by already. Tell me, why don't you tell me, well, let's just do something fun. Tell me what you had for dinner. That might not sound fun. I feel like, well, there's so many things I like to talk about, and yet I'm always like, I'm on the KetoMOM page, and people want to hear about food. So tell me what you had for dinner. It gives other people ideas. We had leftover chicken tacos, which I will tell you, my favorite way to make chicken tacos, and it's easy, and if you need an easy recipe, you take some chicken breasts. This is not what I was going to talk about. This is not the secret, but I'm going to tell you in a second. Take some chicken breasts, throw them in an Instapot, or a crock pot, but I do an Instapot for like 15 minutes. And then when they're cooked thoroughly through, I just put a little bit of water in. But here's the kicker. I season it with some garlic, salt, garlic, and cumin. That's it. So that when my chicken is done, I put it into one of those hand shredders and I shred it. Then I taste it. And if it tastes, I like to have garlic and cumin. That's it. I don't add salsas. I don't add anything. Garlic, salt, and cumin. Those two things, and then you can add everything to it. I promise you, and you shred the chicken, hands down, everybody loves it every time I make it. So that was our dinner, leftover chicken tacos. What did you have for dinner? Gives other people ideas. Now, I wanted to come on here. I've been chatting with a lot of you, and the conversation has come up a lot about why am I not seeing results? Why am I not seeing results? So I'm going to give you some pointers if you haven't seen results, and then the secret, which you might not love, but I promise you it's the truth. So before I do that, if you're brand new, post new below. I'd love to get to know you. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com. We've got a book club over there. We've got trial packs of ketones. I talk about this every day, which, by the way, if you love the Velvet Raz, it was a new flavor a couple weeks ago. It's available today and tomorrow. So go grab it if you're a current customer. If you've never tried ketones, I drink this every day. It's my mom fuel, puts me in ketosis, turns my brain on, my appetite down, helps with fat loss. Hands down, don't take a nap ever. I haven't taken a nap in over 8 years. I'm not lying. So ketones are amazing. They put you in ketosis in under an hour. They're going to help you with all of those benefits. No keto diet needed. I help most people do low carb. So if you've never tried them, post trial in the comments and we'll chat. Now, let's get to the conversation that I have been having often, and it's been around fat loss and why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Usually I'm like, people are like, I don't know why this isn't working. I did it years ago, or is it my metabolism? Is it because I'm going through menopause? I need some help. And so here's what I want you just to take note of as I'm giving you some reminders and the secrets at the end. All right. Number one, why isn't this working? All I want to say is, how often are you eating? So when somebody says, why isn't this working? I'm doing keto. I'm doing low carb. Why isn't this working? I usually ask hey, tell me what you're drinking. Tell me what's in your shaker cup. I want to make sure there's not excess sugar. And then I'll say, tell me what your meals look like. And if I see that they're snacking often, here's one of the biggest things that it might not be working as fast as you want it to, is because hands down, this is the number one reason I believe that people are honestly overweight, not losing weight, hitting a plateau is because they're overeating. And they're simply overeating good food. So if you feel like you're not getting really where you want to go, or this isn't working, I want you just to take this week and evaluate how often you're eating. Are you snacking in between every single meal? Are you snacking because it's conveniently in front of you, right? You don't need to force feed yourself. If you're tracking your food, don't eat just because you can fill in your macros. If you're like, it's keto, it doesn't give you a reason to eat it. Well, it's not a big deal. It's just bacon. Yeah, but you're not hungry, right? So just get into this mindset of, am I actually overeating? And most people are overeating. And that's where intermittent fasting comes in. Not like people go, oh my goodness, I could never fast. And I'm like, listen, you basically stop eating after dinner and you go to the next day lunch, and it's just giving yourself a time frame to eat within. What it's doing is it's training your brain to go, I don't have to eat from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. So number one, usually the reason people are not losing or experiencing a plateau or frustrated is because they're overeating. So just simply evaluate how often you're eating and cut back on some of the excess snacks, right? Number two, usually I'm like, what are you drinking? And if they're going through the Starbucks line or they're drinking a whole bunch of sugary things, I'm like, just cut back on some of the drinks, and it might even be alcohol. And so I'm always like, listen, if you don't want to cut it, then don't be mad if you're not getting the results because you're not willing to do some of the hard things, right? Not yelling, just stating a fact. So those things for sure, as I'm getting these messages, like, I'm not losing. And then I want to say this, like, are you moving your body? Any type of movement, going for a walk, doing a 15-minute workout, maybe a free workout on YouTube, whatever the case may be. If you physically can, try to squeeze in some movement. One of the things I heard from Dr. Ryan Lowry was, he's like, the goal should be 10,000 steps. You're not going to go from like 2,000 to 10,000, but get your body moving. It's super good for you, right? I would dive into, after we talk about food and after we talk about what you're drinking, I do dive into later if they're intermittent fasting. So that's something that comes up. Here's the secret that people don't want to hear. Don't hate me. It is the truth. But the word is it's not. I don't know why that came out. It is important to be consistent, but the word is patience. I was just chatting with a sweet lady, and I was like, listen, you're doing so great. 2 weeks is not enough. Even drinking ketones, like, these are not a magic pill. These help with your appetite. They help you not eat as much, right? They turn your brain on to make better choices. They turn your appetite down. But this isn't going to slap your hand when you see the cookie and then you grab it and you eat it even when you're not hungry. This isn't going to slap your hand when you go through the drive-thru because you're like, oh my goodness, my kids need to eat food. I didn't put the meat in the crock pot. Now I have to feed them, and then they're eating, so I might as well eat. This doesn't slap your hand and go, no, no, no. This helps you feel good. It's a tool. There's a lot of things you can use as tools. And then you still have to make the choices, right? You still have to go, I'm going to take the buns off the burgers. I'm going to eat when I'm hungry, not when I'm bored. I'm going to drink water instead of juice. Does this make sense so far? Hey, if at any point in time you have a question, ask below. I'd love to answer them. What questions do you have? So keto questions, low carb questions, food questions. You can always go to KetoMomSecrets.com, click on recipes. There's like 100 million recipes, not really, maybe like a couple hundred. Or book club or ketones or trial packs, KetoMomSecrets.com. The word is patience, though. I'm talking about patience because remember, we live in an instant society. We have microwaves and Instagram and Instapots and all the Instas, right? We can just go, I want, and it comes to our door, or it comes in our mail, or it is delivered to us very shortly. Our bodies are not that way. Have you guys ever heard of this? Your body is an Amazon Prime. If you weren't very nice to it for the last however many years, it is not going to just deliver you what you want in 2 days. And you might be like, ugh, but I did it before. All right. What's great about that, because I hear this every day, I've done it. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so great. Oh, I've gained all the weight back. I'm like, but you want to know what? You know how to eat. You've already done it. You've lost the weight. Now we have to get the inspiration to keep going, not motivation. Motivation comes from the exterior. Motivation comes from watching a movie or listening to a song or reading a book or a podcast, and you're motivated. But that doesn't last long. You've got to figure it out inside of you to go, why do I want to get healthy? Why do I want to get strong? Why do I want to feel better? Not just for 2 weeks, but for 2 years, right? So the word that many of you need to hear tonight is patience. Not 2 weeks. It's not 2 months. Like if you've been overweight for longer than a couple years, it might take you to the end of the year for you to really see some progress. It's inches lost. The scale is not going to be your friend every week. Stop weighing yourself every single day. Pay attention to inches lost. How are your clothes fitting? Like we were with a friend yesterday and you could see it in his face. We were like, oh my goodness, Dale, like your face looks so much thinner. Those things are fat loss. Oftentimes people will say, I've lost inches, but the scale is not moving. Inches is fat loss. Your clothes fitting looser is fat loss. And you can weigh yourself every once a week or every couple weeks, but that isn't the determination. If you're lifting weights and you're doing keto and you're drinking ketones, ketones preserve muscle, you actually might find your body changing and shifting and you might go up a couple pounds. I actually don't, if I were to look at the scale, I don't weigh what I want. I've also been at CrossFit for a couple of years and I have more muscle than I've ever had in my life, right? So I can't get frustrated with the scale, but my husband's always like, you are so strong. So you have to understand that your body's going to change even as we age. I really have to focus on the women, and I get it. I'm 40 and my body doesn't look like a 20-year-old body. I've birthed 4 girls. And while we can be in really good shape, you're going to have marks and you're going to have things. And you shouldn't, I hope that you're not trying to look like somebody on the gram or a magazine or somebody who maybe have airbrushed something. Like you really need to focus on like, how am I feeling? How are my energy levels? Can I physically think? Like, do I overall have a good day because I'm feeling great and I'm fueling my body? And you want to feel good in your clothes, but don't get frustrated. Like I talked to a mom, a specific mom that texts me every single day. What she eats, she checks in with me. She asks for suggestions. And a lot of hers is mindset. And she looks great. Now, she doesn't have a 16 to 18 to 22-year-old body. And she's also birthed 4 kids. I'm like, I need you to get out of your mindset of how you used to look. And some of you have gone right back to that. I haven't. But it's okay because I'm not 20, I'm 40, but I'm a strong 40 and I love how I feel. So I want you to get this like model shaped body out of your mindset and go, how do I want to feel? What does that look like? Am I actually committed and am I going to put the time in to actually get to where I want to go? The word is patience, not in 2 weeks, but consistently over time, you will get there with drinking your water, with moving your body, with being mindful of what you're eating. I would say fueling your body with ketones. These are incredible. Finding the tools that work for you. Finding an accountability partner. Just getting rid of some of the processed sugar and junk. And the biggest thing is to not eat if you're not hungry. Like, stop overeating. Stop overthinking it. Choose your favorite meals, proteins and veggies. Eat when you're hungry, not when you're bored. That's it. So, oh, yes, the snacks. It is the snacks. That gets a lot of people. I know. It is and I'm not a snacker, but I love a good meal. If I know and I've got my meals planned, I 100% won't snack because I want to enjoy a good meal, which comes with prepping. Like if you pick your favorite meals and you've planned your week out and you know you're going to have chicken tacos tonight, I am not going to waste any food on a snack because I want to eat some good chicken tacos. So, all right, for those of you who are just tuning in, we were just chatting about the word patience. I did ask as you're tuning in, share with me below what you had for dinner. It gives other people ideas. I shared earlier how to make some incredible chicken tacos. Don't mess up good for perfect. Chicken tacos, put some chicken in the Instapot, garlic and cumin. That's it. And some water because it has to cook. All right. Ask all your questions below. Thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. I will message you if you message me. I will answer your questions below. if you ask a question. So don't be shy. If you have a question, usually somebody else does as well. Whatever you're looking for, recipes, book club, ketones, KetoMomSecrets.com. Otherwise, post ketones or trial below to grab some of those. Otherwise, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and have a great night. Bye.